You're creating content, but is it the right kind of content for 2025? Because here's the cold hard truth, okay? If you are not evolving, you're getting left behind. So today, let's break down what's going to be working for 2025, and it's not going to be chasing the latest trend, hoping that the algorithm's on your side, all right? This is truly going to be about having something that is sustainable, that feels authentic, and that leaves people wanting more, okay? So if you're ready to step into the future of content creation, you want to have something that will work and create binge-worthy content, this is for you. Welcome back to the podcast. It's me, your host, Malika, content creator, entrepreneur, and your girl to personal branding and manifestation. Okay, I don't know if you have been noticing, but if you're watching the video form, okay, my lighting looks so much better because I started recording during the day in the morning like I should always do. For the quality to be better. I really want to give you my input on what is working, right? What are the ins and outs? I also want to talk about Instagram, right? Because most of the time I talk about content in general. I really want to dive also more into Instagram, specifically what we're leaving behind, what's going to be working a lot better this upcoming year, what to stop wasting your time on, and how you can start becoming a true icon online, that you are a content creator, that you are a business owner, and you create content for your business. So let's dive into it. I'd say the first thing I really want to bring up is creating a sense of true belonging within your community and your online presence, your personal brand. If you start looking at every single creators that are able to create that sense of belonging, their engagement are through the roof. The people that follows them are literally obsessed with them and with their content or with their business. And this is because they're able to create a sense of belonging. And this is something that's going to be so impactful if you start creating this for this year with your social media. Because I feel like it can be so easy to get caught up in, like, you know, since you're posting content and, you know, when you're filming, you're like talking to like a camera or you're talking to your phone. So I feel like it'd be so easy to be like, you're talking to your phone or you're talking to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of feels like there's this lack of connection, right? Like, and I feel like when you are always thinking like, okay, I'm talking to my camera, whatever. It's like you are only thinking in the sense of like people are watching you, and it doesn't feel like, how can I say this? Like, it doesn't feel like a conversation. Does that make sense? I feel like, you know, when you're doing like a monologue and then there's no, like there's only an input, but there's no output, kind of like that, right? And so when you create a sense of belonging, it's about connecting the two together instead of just being like, people are watching me and I'm posting content. It's more about like how it can start creating more like an exchange, right? Like kind of like a continuous conversation that is happening on your social media. I hope this makes sense. Like I'm really trying to like explain it the best I can. I find that there's something so beautiful when you start creating a community that is not just about like, oh, I'm posting content and people are watching me, right? And it's to serve just me. But there's something so beautiful when you are all striving towards the same goal, you know, you're all like on the same journey, or like there's something so special about that, and there's something so humane about that that simply makes your presence so much more unforgettable, because this truly starts making us care about you, but also you truly get to care about your community. You know, like for me out here with the podcast, I see all the like the weekly listeners that are coming back to see my content. Like, I see you. I know you're real. I feel like, you know, I always read with the comment. I always look at like what you guys are needing, what you are asking for, what you're struggling with, because you have a voice in what I create. You have a voice in like my personal brand, right? And this is so important. I feel like this is something that like we kind of forget, because it's like you're talking to a camera, you're talking like, you know what I'm saying? But truly, the kind of people who have the most success is the people who really put so much value and input on their community. And that's the difference between like having surface level content versus having like something that's like much deeper, right? Like you can like see yourself in that person, or you can relate, or you can feel like you belong in a community. Like this is so you know, like, you know what I mean? That is such an amazing feeling and such a powerful feeling to create. Okay, now Instagram. Oh my God, this is the first time that I'm actually going to be talking specifically on Instagram. Whew, I'm so excited. I have so much stuff to say, I'm telling you. Okay, first of all, I feel like we are really seeing a rise of content photo form. You know how before, you know, it was all about the photo, and then we transitioned into reels, and now we are shifting back into the photo form, but not any kind of photo form. Okay, I'm not saying like the rise of any photo form. I'm talking about interactive carousels. I don't know if everyone calls it like that, but I call them like that. Okay, so interactive carousels are like the kind of photos that you can really engage with and interact. They like catch your attention, and they're so valuable and so underutilized, because when you start posting photo form content that is really engaging, right? And it's not just a photo, it's like it has text, it has a caption, it has something to grab the attention, has something more to give. It starts gaining traction. And also something that like I feel a lot of people don't know is that these interactive carousels, they really often get shown in the explore page of Instagram. So you know, when you go to search something underneath, you know, when you always see like all those content that you're like not even following, right? You can get featured there. So this is so great for exposure, because as we all know, Instagram prioritize so much more the people who already follows you. Like you can't really get discovered like on TikTok or like on YouTube. It's the algorithm is a bit different. So super great to utilize it. But not only that, carousels are also so much more of a bigger commitment. So this means that like you get to filter so much more, okay? Because it requires so much more commitment on the user's end, because they keep scrolling through the carousels and they keep reading, right? And so this means that their focus is really there. They need to be engaged, and this means that like you're filtering through people who are much more engaged and interested in your offer, in your content, and what you have to offer. And so this starts really nourishing so well like your potential buyers or your dream audience, you know? So the rise of interactive carousel, so underutilized, especially for businesses. Like literally makes me want to rip out my eyes. But you know, I'm here to tell you about it. So this is really amazing to start building your authority online and create more awareness in general. Something for Instagram that I feel is out. Just the trending audio with like some text. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, those videos, or just like videos with just audio. I feel like we're gonna see so much more of that's going down, and much more of a rise of creators that are truly creating engaging content where they are talking in their content regularly. Because we all know, in order to build your personal brand, you have to be talking, right? Real life talking, or voiceover, or just talking in general. Okay, the thing is with like these video that only have audio or music on them or text, is that it gets really repetitive really fast, and like there's no oomph, you know, like you want to create that oomph factor. Like we want to hear your voice, we want to see the fucking impact that you bring in your industry. And if you want to start making some noise, I'm telling you, you gotta start using your voice to make it, and not just by text, okay? Or not just with the audio. And this goes for anything that you're doing: fashion, that you're doing mental health, that you're doing like meditation, that you're doing self-growth, that you're doing a business, that you're doing a service, like whatever. This is the exact thing that made one of my clients triple the kind of awareness that they were getting, and they started really building that dream audience because we started integrating that talking content, that content where we are talking. Even like they had a product, okay, so it was a product based business, and you know, most videos were just like showing the product, like this is the product, right? So stagnant. And so what we started doing is that we started incorporating talking, okay? And then just like that, bam, it became so much more interesting on the user's end. Why? Because this strengthens your personal brand, okay? And so talking regularly in your content is going to become your best friend. And obviously, like, Instagram is much more fast paced, so still keeping in mind to, you know, say what you have to say to get your point across, but not make it extremely long if you don't have to, right? If you can cut out some stuff out, some shit out, right? Even better, okay? And also the fact that you will be talking regularly in your content really allows you to reach new people, okay? Because I don't know about you, but when I see a video on Instagram that's simply like an audio and a text, like it doesn't really do much for me. You know what I'm saying? Like the creators that I start following are because they're using their voice. I can feel that I'm entering their world, and it's amazing. And so that's what catch my attention, and not just the like the B-roll, or not just like the video with the text or the audio, because that I can like it. Like I can enjoy it, but after that there's nothing that comes from it. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is the content strategy that you probably are gonna want to steal. Okay, so I really want to shed some light on how to start thinking about your content. So when you start thinking about your content, you need to stop thinking of it as this stagnant thing. The best way to think about it is kind of like a never-ending cycle that always is in continuity. Start thinking of your content as a loop that never ends. Because what I see a lot is people who start creating a piece of content as if these people already know them. Because when you only think of your content as this stagnant thing, what most of the time happens is that you only create content for people who already knows what you're all about, who already knows you, who already follows you. And then you come across someone new and like your content doesn't make sense to them, right? And then they're like, you're missing out on that growth that you could be having, because they're like, you know, it's not there's no point for them to enter the cycle. You know what I'm saying? And like the circle of your content, right? And so when you start thinking of your content as this continuous loop that always goes and moves, right? It's so much more impactful, and you start really widening your dream audience and reaching new people that will be interested in your offer. Because if it's the first time that we ever see you ever it needs to make sense. If it's not the first time that we see you, it needs to make sense for your previous content. And how you can do that is by integrating elements that you've previously mentioned into your new content, right? So the person who has watched your content prior to this are like, oh my God, yeah, she brought that up before, she's bringing it up again, makes sense. And the person who it's new for them, right? Like you are still making it digestible for them. And this is truly how you start creating binge-worthy content, right? The kind of content that like it's like so good, people want more of it, right? Because that's the thing, it's like always in a loop. So when people enter the loop, they're like, shit, this is so good. And the people who are already in that loop can keep feeling like it's like a continuity. It's like it makes sense. Something that is truly a game changer that I have seen time and time again that people just miss out on completely when building their personal brand, when creating their content strategy, is to not just be doing educational content, but content that inspires action. When you're only doing educational content, it's always educational. It's always like, I'm giving value, I'm giving free value, I'm giving free value. And then you're wondering like, why is no one buying? Why does no one care about my offer? Why am I not standing out? Right? And it's like, it's because there's nothing that inspires action. There needs to be something, a momentum, like something that flips a switch in their brain and they're like, shit, I need to take action. I need to hire this girl. I need to work with that person. I need to consume their content. I need, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it can't just be educational content. And so starting to incorporate content that inspires action and doing the right framework in your content so that you can really get that result that you're looking to have, to get these people that can't wait to hire you, that wants to work with you, right? Is so important so that you can start converting that dream audience. And now in my episode on how to build an audience obsessed with you, I previously mentioned, you don't want your hook to be so generic, because if we've seen it 1,000 times, it's not impactful. And your hook is not the most important thing if the inside of your content doesn't really resonate with your audience or isn't as valuable as the hook, right? But something that I haven't mentioned is that you need to start creating messaging that really taps into people's emotional state, right? And so creating a message and communicating with your dream audience so that your message can really land and it truly feels like it comes from you because it's in your own voice, right? It's in your own style of personal brand. This will truly make them feel seen and heard, but also start activating something inside that they are craving, right? That you can come in and be like, hey, I am the person for you. So using a compelling messaging through your personal brand that clearly state the value of investing in you for your ideal client is going to be the special sauce that is going to shift so much stuff for you. This is most of the time while people don't take action is because there's this gap between like the value that you provide and where they are right now. They're like, oh, I don't see how the gap can connect and bridge, right? Like, and this is where your messaging fills the bridge. And this is so important to have in your content, in your personal brand. And something else that is truly going to be out the door, okay, that I have to mention, to stop focusing so much on content metrics and instead start shifting your focus on the impact that you bring and your community, okay, and your own voice, because these are the things that actually starts creating momentum. What starts happening when people only focus on the metrics of their content is that they are solely focused on getting their views up or getting their likes up or whatever, that they're missing the point. You truly, truly have to remember is that it's not about having the perfect post. It's really about creating binge-worthy content that is in your voice, that is truly so aligned with who you are authentically, that will truly be the right fit for the right client. And I'm telling you, when you have such a strong online presence that feels magnetic, that has something different from other people, okay, and they start to understand why you are irreplaceable, you start getting people attracted in your social media that cannot wait to hire you, okay? Because your personal brand is exuding this energy. You are exuding this energy. You are becoming magnetic. There's truly a turning point that happens when you start to truly understand that having success with your personal brand truly comes not just from posting content, but showing up authentically as you and having your energy and your voice speak for itself, because you are truly making some noise in your industry. You are showing up as that leader, and that makes some noise in your industry, okay? And so this is something that I feel everyone forgets, because everyone's like, oh my God, what's the new trend? What's the new thing? What's the new algorithm? What's the new, oh my God. Like, I would literally have my head explode if I were to still be doing this till this day. And I would still be running around in circle. And, you know, if you want to break free from that cycle, you need to stop obsessing and really hone into your personal brand, into your online presence. So I hope that you found this so helpful. And now, if you are not already joined into our free Facebook community group where you get to truly connect with amazing entrepreneur women, engage exclusive value from me so that you can truly become the entrepreneur that you want to be, definitely join in today. So the link is going to be down in the description box, and trust me, you do not want to miss out. And now, if you found this episode helpful, make sure to send it to someone, send it to a friend as always, and I will meet you back here next week. And as always, stay amazing. Thanks so much for tuning in, and don't forget to leave your 5-star rate and review on the podcast. I love to know what you guys think of the episodes, and I will meet you here next week.